Welcome to the Elements of Spirit for the week of October 22nd, 2017. This is the reading for the element of Earth, which includes the sun signs of Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. If you haven't watched the ether reading, go back and check it out now. The read was, the affirmation was, the information was. Where did it go? Where did it go? I bypass the obvious noise to witness the subtlest, most potent imbalances, welcoming the knowledge of that which can adjust them. Feels great. I feel so pale out here. It must be the black on the white, on the black, on the white, and the sun. Maybe I just need some sun. Okay. Well, that was some obvious noise. I bypass the obvious noise to witness the subtlest, most potent imbalances, welcoming the knowledge of that which can adjust them. There's this kind of inner orienting this week to not just stillness, but to listening, to searching, to probing for that which is within you, which can be perceived as being out of balance, in order to allow the knowledge of that which will calm that down to enter. But we actually just try to carry ourselves through this week, showing up, doing the work that needs to be done, fulfilling obligations, not thinking or feeling too much about any of it, because the idea is that whatever we're clocking as we're thinking and feeling is the obvious noise. We want to kind of tune a little bit out without checking out, so that we can start to come up with interesting and authentic, not just interesting, but authentic, sincere, from your heart assessments of what's going on with you, what might be going on outside in the world, so that we can have the conversations and the exchanges to cross these barriers of I'm experiencing my shit, you're experiencing your shit, and we're all doing it in our own little pod, right? So the idea is that there's an opportunity this week for really potent, subtle aspects of the problems that we are all facing in our individual lives and in our shared lives, that when they come out from within, will give you more information about how to communicate about those things without and with others, so that we continue to erode these separations and distinctions, remembering that we're all from the same place, we're all on the same planet, we're all on the same body, mother, right? Mother body. So that is what it is. In terms of the Earth, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Yes, Trent Reznor. Come through. Trent. I'm hearing hurt, right? I wear this crown of thorns. I keep trying to see if they're going to give me more lyrics, because I know that song. But that's it. There's a little something to... Oh, it does. It connects to grief. They're only giving me a different one. Everyone I love goes away in the end. Everyone in the end. So this is contributing to this shared sense of grief. And then part of the message for you, Earth beings, is this week, your tragedy crowns you. Your tragedy crowns you. Your suffering. Your suffering, yeah. Your suffering and sacrifice, that's it. Your suffering and sacrifice provide your footing and standing. Hold your head high. Work in turn. So what it is it's saying to acknowledge the depth of your pain, sadness, tragedy, sacrifice, let it in. But don't give in. Let it in. And make and allow it to change the volume of everything else. So there's something here which is like everything else. There's something here which is like you are not identifying as a grieving person, or you are not identifying as someone who suffered, or you're not. It's like you're trying to be so regal, but the reason why you have this crown is because you've sacrificed and suffered and hurt, and the reason why you've, assumed your position is because of everything that you've lost or surrendered. And the idea here is that you're gonna have a really hard time bypassing the obvious noise to witness the subtlest, most potent imbalances if you won't even let yourself identify as someone who is hurting, or who has lost, or who has felt pain, or who is grieving, or who is sad, or who is mourning, or who is in tragedy. It's like you're cheating yourself out of your standing and your footing because you are trying to put too bushy-tailed of a spin on it, right? And also, not focusing on your pain and sadness is making you miss out on the knowledge of that which can adjust them. So it's like you're trying to kind of keep it at bay or keep it at arm's length, and that's making it hard for you to adjust those inner imbalances, which could contribute to your, well, if not feeling great, at least feeling well enough to be standing tall, to be still, it's like you're cheating yourself out of pride, you're cheating yourself out of accomplishment, you're cheating yourself out of everything that you've been through because you're acting like you kind of haven't been through it. And that's great, but this week it's gonna make the noise get too much. So the advice here is to let it in, but don't give in. Let it in and allow it to change the volume of everything else. This is one of the things. When you allow yourself too much to identify with tragedy or grief or sadness, you can become, a blanket baby, wah, wah, wah. But when you actually allow it in and you allow yourself to say, I can't go out tonight. I'm crying. I'm grieving. I'm sad. I'm feeling lots of feelings. I can't really handle that action tonight. I don't want that action because I'm tender or whatever. You don't even have to give an excuse, but just to say, because this is how I feel. What that can do is it can allow you, if you prioritize the sadness, if you allow yourself to let in the feelings that you're feeling, then that alone can reduce the noise. When my dad was really sick, I couldn't fulfill a lot of the obligations that I wanted to fulfill, but it was okay because he was sick and dying, and I had to fulfill those obligations, or I chose to fulfill those obligations, or there were moments where I didn't choose to and I just had to do it. And there was this beautiful simplifying quality where it becomes really hard to kind of go back to life when things are not so tragic and not so simple. And the idea here is that there is simplicity that is available to you, a simplification process that's available if you allow yourself to let in the feelings of sadness, pain, tragedy, sacrifice, remembering that those sacrifices and tragedies and pains are what cause you to wear this crown of thorns, to willingly endure this suffering. For what? For the liberation of all. I mean, I know that's vast, but the idea, at least for the amelioration of all. That's a better word for you earth signs. It's like we don't have to fix everything, but we do want to touch everything and make it all a little bit better. And everybody's going to do that in their own different way. So try to be empowered by whatever it is that you want to do to ameliorate everything just like a little bit. Whatever the particular stank that you want to put on your life or on the world, try to let yourself enjoy that and be empowered by that, because that's the reason why you've had to suffer. That's the reason why you are royalty now, because everything that you've suffered has given you the right to stand tall. It's given you the right to stand tall, the right to be proud of everything that you've been through, just so you can get through this week with a little less noise, figuring out where the subtle problems are within you and around you, so you just don't get distracted by everything, so that you can be as you are, but also do a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. Okay, great. I am here thanks to the challenges that have shaped me. I am here thanks to the challenges that have shaped me. I am here thanks to the challenges that have shaped me. So it's an interesting affirmation because it's really just sort of asserting what you already know, but which, because of this incorrect placement of the crown, has not been feeding you, has not been giving you power, has not been helping you to stay quiet. So you guys are almost going to use the earth before the ether, but of course change them back and forth. I am here thanks to the challenges that have shaped me. I bypass the obvious noise to witness the subtlest, most potent imbalances, welcoming the knowledge of that which can adjust them. So you're sort of setting yourself with the earth affirmation and then using the ether affirmation to give yourself those gentle opportunities for improvement throughout the week. Offered in love and service. Thank you for showing up with me every week. I love you so much. Talk to you soon.